This is our next project, 2011 Chevy Silverado. We're going to be doing a new head unit, 4 new speakers, and a backup camera into the rear tailgate.
On this episode of Custom Fab Garage, today we're going to be working on a 2011 Chevy Silverado. We're going to be replacing all 4 of the door speakers, doing a new double-din radio with a rear view backup camera, and we're going to be integrating that into the tailgate. This is Kevin. He's going to be helping out with the process.
All right, Kevin's going to start taking apart the rear doors, starting with each piece. This piece right here is going to come off. That piece over there is going to come off. And then right here we have a piece that's gonna have to pull off with a 10 mil behind it. And same way down here, we'll have to pull this off and pull out the 2 10 mils, and he's gonna show you how that comes off.
All right, so we're gonna start behind the handle.
Might be better with a pick tool. That's what I use.
These are just clipped in.
Go. And then he's gonna have, there should be 2 10 millimeters down here. Yep, there's 2 10 mils down there, and then behind here there's gonna be a 10 millimeter as well.
All right.
Just be real careful when you unscrew those because they like to fall. I've dropped them in there a few times.
Start behind here, I guess.
Gotta persuade it a little bit. Talk gently to it. Hey baby, come on off.
It'll come eventually.
That's what they all say. Ooh, that one came off good. We all good? Did we lose any?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's good.
Now we should be pretty good to be able to pull this whole big old masterpiece off. And it'll mostly come off by hands. I might have to lift up a little bit. Kind of comes out of this, yeah, gasket right there. And that's it. And then right here we have a connection right here that we'll have to disconnect, and then this plug right here will have to come off. And then that will give us all we need to do to get down to the speaker right here. All right, on here we pulled out this 10 millimeter out of here. That's the only thing that pulls this out. Then this whole piece is gonna come off as a plate. Now we've bought new plates to be able to replace these, so I'll show you those. These are the pieces that we bought from Metra. It's an 823020. They're just adapter plates to be able to make these fit 6.5s and bolt right in. So a lot easier solution than trying to cut this thing up to make a new speaker fit in. All right, here's the DD audio speaker that we're going to be installing in here. We've installed this in here. They even give you speaker wire with it, which is awesome. These are really good speakers. They're also marine grade. We're going to be installing this one into this one, and then we're going to be putting those back into the rear doors. All right, we are going to T-tap these 2 wires, so if he ever wants to go back to stock, that he can definitely do that. I don't like cutting plugs off, some guys do. Not my forte, in case they ever want to go back to stock. A lot of guys don't like T-taps. I've been using them for 20 years, never had an issue. So we got our T-taps mounted onto there.
we're going to take our new DD speaker that we're putting in here. Basically on GM, you know, yellow is going to be your negative, which is going to be the black wire on the DD, and the white wire on the DD is going to go to the positive is the brown. Plug is going to go in here. It's going to sit down in this clamp like so. Sits down in there, and then we're going to put our 10mm bolt. Okay. So then this 10mm is going to go right in there. And that's all that holds these in with these new brackets. And then I'm going to knock that down with the impact. All right. On the door panel here, there's a lot of different things that we got to take off. First thing is this piece right here. I just take my hook tool. You got to kind of get down in here. You pull this little slider piece out. You got to be real careful not to break it because they're kind of fragile. There you go. And it just pops out, and then you just pull this out. This piece will come off here at the top. And that'll pull off like so. Doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that's already, somebody's already broken that off. That's lovely. Okay, this piece right here has to come off next, which will come off at the bottom. It's got a little slider part on it where you can get in there and you can take it out, and then this piece will basically pop off. Then that comes off right there. And then we got to get this big piece underneath this door handle in here. It has to come off, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to get off. There you go. Kind of got to take a hook tool and get behind it, and then that piece will all come off as one big piece. And then that's going to leave us. Definitely don't want to drop these in the door panel. Got a 10 mil here. You gotta be real careful when you're pulling them in and out. Do not want to drop those in the door panel. Well, this one's really in there. Whew. Okay. Smell my drill on that one. These are a different style of bolt on here, by the way, on these 10 mils. They're a little bit shorter, a little different than the other two. That pulls off, and then there also, I believe, is one behind here. I still got to get this 10mm out. I'll have to do that with a socket set. I believe there is something behind here. I could be wrong though. Yep, there's a 10mm behind there too. So you got to pull that off, and then you got a 10mm behind here. Lots of 10mm. And then, once I get this one out, this whole door panel will just pop off, all as one piece. Okay, stop. Okay, down here on our speaker, we're gonna take this 7mm out here, and then this will all just pull out. There's like a little clip, you just pull it off and pull it out, okay? That's how you get the speaker out. These are the front DD audio speakers we're gonna be putting in here today. I already got these wired up, ready to go for the T-taps. These are the adapters we're going to be using for the front, which is an 82 3006. They are the multi-adapters for the front, so everything just bolts right in just like factory. We have our new DD speaker here. We've got it attached into our speaker adapter that just basically sits in this piece here and then bolts up here with the new 7mm. Self-tapped it into here so it's all secure. Then down here we have our light green and dark green for the front, basically the front passenger side. So your light green is going to be your positive, your dark green is going to be your negative, and then we're basically going to set this down in here into this channel, and then it's going to sit right up into there. Then we're going to take our 7mm, and it's just going to bolt right into there. And that's pretty much all you've got to do on the front speakers. And then we'll turn it on and make sure, test it works. All right, here's our front driver side speaker. You can be using the tan as the positive and your grayish color as the negative. That's going to be for this speaker, and then we're going to hook this bottom part into here and then bolt it in with the 7mm at the top.
All right, we are going to take this ugly, nasty radio out. We're gonna pull this dash off. Obviously, take all this stuff out. Oops. Put it in here. This all should just pull right off. All right. Okay, and then this whole thing is going to pop off until we drop the camera like an idiot. Okay, so this whole thing is going to basically come off. It all just unpops, and then it's going to just remove out of there. Okay, and then we're going to take all these 7mm out on each side down here, and then that way we can remove the HVAC as well. Just don't drop them. Now we're going to pull the HVAC system out here, pull it down. Okay, so that's out of the way. And then we're going to pull this radio out and unplug all the plugs out of the back. These are the parts that we're going to be using to install. The GMRCO LAN 01, basically the wiring harness, Chrysler antenna adapter, and this is the dash kit we're going to be using is a 3305 double DIN kit to be able to install the radio. So those are all the parts that we're going to be using to make this work. Alright, we have our SONY radio installed. I did have to trim all the way around basically every bit of this right here on this edge. I trimmed on the back side to get this to pull out farther for the knob to come out, because otherwise the knob will sit back here and then you can't even move it with your finger. So I did that. Also installed a flush mount USB down in here, so that way he doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff on the front of the dash or a bunch of wires hanging out. So that way he can just plug his phone in right there. Here's a video of the finished product. SONY radio installed.
Opportunities are going to be few and far between, but just when it does happen, be able to return that ball.
Okay, we've taken out these 3 bolts right here to basically get us into taking this plastic piece off here, right here, and then that unplugs basically out of there. So we can just unsnap this off. Now we're going to be putting a new unit from Rostra that is going to have the rear view camera, and everything is going to be built into here. So it's super nice. It's going to look OEM and clean.
Make sure you
This is a little video of what it looks like before, and then we'll show you what it's going to look like afterwards. Okay, we removed the tailgate from the vehicle. We're getting ready to install this in here, so we ran the wire straight down. What we did was, they said from Rostra to run it through here. We actually went ahead and drilled a hole through here to run it. The reason why is because on our particular vehicle, we have nothing on this side, but we do have a really nice hole to run it through here. So that's why we drilled a hole in the middle. We'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so we finally got this thing installed. Here's what it looks like. You definitely, when you're putting this in, you definitely want to back all these out and then put this one in first, because there's a locking nut just like the stock one right here. There's a locking nut that goes into there that has to go into and thread into this bolt, and you want that to be correct. If you don't, you'll have problems trying to get it in and out, I promise you. And then tighten these 2 after you're done, and then it will be all secure. So we are going to go to this pink wire that's in this power box, basically down the kick panel of the driver's side. Mainly because the Metro harness that we bought does not provide a reverse signal. I'm not sure why, but every single one of these Metro Access harnesses I buy, they never give a proper reverse signal. I don't know why. So I'm guessing it's because this is such a standard truck, it doesn't have any kind of data connection. So what we're going to do is we're going to wire into this pink wire right here, because this is the diagram that came with the Rostra reverse camera that we got. So this says just go ahead and tag into this wire, so that's what we're going to do. Here's a video of the camera installed. Looks really nice. A lot of work, but definitely looks OEM.
And get it out past the 25.
We'll go ahead and put it back up. Here's the rear view camera with the grid lines. Just to let everybody know, you need to take this piece off underneath the dash. There's a Phillips, and a 10mm up in here. Drop this down. This piece needs to come off for this piece to come off correctly and go back on correctly. And there's two 7mm right here that need to come off to pull this piece off. I want to update that because it doesn't say that anywhere on the Metra instructions or anybody's instructions. So please make sure you take this bottom valence off, then this piece off, and then this will all come off correctly, or otherwise it won't sit in here correctly. This is the head unit after we finished it. Not really impressed with the quality of the dash kit. It has some tiny gaps and I'm not too happy about that, but overall the radio looks amazing in there. Just wish we had a better dash kit. Reverse camera works awesome. Super happy with the quality of that. Just wish the dash kit edges and the corners just fit a little better. There's the backup camera that we put into the handle. Now let me tell you, do not use any of the wiring that they tell you, or Metra tells you, or Rostra tells you. Go straight to the tail light. There's a wiring harness behind here, and it has a green wire and a black wire, and it's the green wire. It might even have a stripe on it. Go to that as your source. I spent 4 hours yesterday trying to find a reverse wire through Metra, Rostra, everybody else. It is not correct.